Alright, welcome to my first classic movie review. We're gonna be doing a few of these, if I feel like it. The title itself is self-explanatory, so let's talk about the movie. Nope, wait, I wanna let you know that I've never seen this movie before, nor have I ever heard anything about it. And that is what I search for in movies. During the time the movie was made, they were still going through the mass consumer society after the war and the rise of the industrialization in society in Japan. Don't know why I mentioned that. It was made in 1961, that's basically what I'm telling you. Alright, Yojimbo, directed by akirakurosawa. This is also one of the movies where I'm gonna have to do like a little bit of a recap, just give my thoughts on what's going on through the movie. Because I feel like nobody has seen this movie that isn't like a cinephile or, you know, above the age of 60. It has a nice little intro sequence, I do like it. The music is there. It does go on for a few minutes, but I'll let it slide. It is an old movie. The stick scene, I don't know why I put that there. He grabs a stick. Does he have one arm? Also, keep in mind, albeit I did watch this movie days ago and I completely forgot. I've been distracted to talk about this, so yeah, my memory's a little drenched. Oh yeah, I remember the first scene. I thought he was armless. Thought he had no arms. Then I realized that's what samurais do. But yeah, I genuinely thought he just had no arms. I thought he was gonna go full Zorro and have a sword in his mouth. I didn't know how that was gonna work. I also got a bunch of quotes for the movie. Everyone wants easy money. Wait, that's not a quote. I put that there because I talk about gambling. Okay, wait. Okay, that's part of the theme of the movie. You know, gambling, gangs. I think back then there was a lot more crime-related stuff. But yeah, I think it's just a commentary on like back then when there was a lot more crime, gangs. I do like the slow atmospherical. Like it's showing the atmosphere of the movie for the first 10 minutes. The other characters are talking, whereas the main character is more stoic. There's a dog carrying a hand. It's creepy. It's unsettling, not creepy. Fuck. Also, the way Sanjuro fights is the way my Sekiro gameplay is, okay? Masterpiece.
Wow! Wow! Are you kidding me? Heal! You fucking
I do find it interesting how the coffin maker is the only one making money. Maybe I should watch more movies. I'm pretty sure I'll notice a lot more parallel. I think that's a parallel. I think that's a joke, actually. I think that comes from a saying. I'm not really sure. Hold on, let me check. Coffin maker. Dude. Yeah, coffin maker's business is supported by death, but nobody dies from supporting it. What? But yeah, I do find it interesting that aspect of the coffin maker is the only one. Like, they made sure that the coffin maker was the only one making money. Whereas everyone else is in poverty. Oh yeah, the guy who couldn't count is pretty funny. I'll talk about him later. The unibrow guy. I love him. He's my favorite character. And then here's another quote. I get paid for killing. And this town is full of men who deserve to die. That's like, I just thought that was really badass. I do like how unapologetically badass this movie is. Sorry, I couldn't say that word for like 5 tries. I thought the main character was called Yojimbo. What? Yojimbo? He's not called Yojimbo. He's called Sanjuro. I think the first 30 minutes I was like, Yojimbo's got this in the bag. He's a badass. I love Yojimbo. No, it's just, that's not his name. That means bodyguard in Japanese. I didn't realize that. I don't speak Japanese. Running away. He has offended me, so I cut ties with him. Is another quote I love. And it cuts to like one of the best scenes of the whole movie. The best scene in the whole movie where both gangs like try to hurt each other. But they don't because they're both too scared to fight. And it cuts to Sanjuro just laughing from above. Just pointing and laughing at them. Enjoying the spectacle. The characters laughing at the gang sipping tea. Went on for so long that I'd start laughing. Like that went on for, there were scenes that just go on for so long that I didn't expect it to go on. Like it felt like a comedy sketch where he was laughing at them drinking spiked tea. What is happening? Are they trying to watch him like act normal here? What is going on? He's laughing again. Alright, let me tell you about the window shots. The cinematography for this movie was, it was so good. I hate when people say, for an old movie, this did pretty well. But like, it has to stand the test of time. Like it has to, I have to say it. And compared to movies now, where they rely on CGI more, it was more limited back then, basically, is what I'm saying. And the use of what they have, so good. Like the window scene with him opening the windows and showing different perspectives was beautiful. Like I'm sure there are many scenes of them just showing off cinematography. Like with the guy with the gun and the fire behind him was great. Like him just grinning. There are many spectacles in the movie, but I just, the window scene is my favorite. At least in terms of cinematography, like the way it looks. Oh yeah, let's go back to the coffin maker. Yeah, when they made peace, the coffin maker is miserable. There's a scene at the end where it's like, when the fighting is this bad, they don't bother with coffins. I don't have the words to put it together, but there's something there that's so profound about that. Ah, yes. When my note says gun. Yeah, the gun guy, and he's funny. I don't know. There's not much character to him. He just likes his gun a lot. I didn't put this commentary well together. Oh yeah, then Sanjuro crashed out. He starts killing a bunch of people, saving the wife. I totally forgot about the wife plotline. I did not write anything for her. I did not write anything for the plotline with the family and stuff because I felt like it came out of left field. I was like, what the fuck? Is this the same movie? I mean, I liked it. It served its purpose at the end. It made Sanjuro more of a good guy. It gets pretty intense towards the end though. I like that the main character who's supposed to be all tough takes a real beating. We see him at his most pathetic, most vulnerable at the end, where he gets beat up by the giant, thrown around, tossed around, no chance of fighting back. He has to hide underneath the fortress, sneak away. He needs help from his little chef friend. So I do like we do get a moment of vulnerability. And once again, the unibrow guy helps Sanjuro. He helps Sanjuro and he helps the chef guy. I'm not great with names. But yeah, Unibrow is truly my favorite character. He indirectly helps them, and he's funny. That's all. I mean, he's a terrible person. His character's a bad guy. Don't get me wrong, piece of shit, but like, he's funny. He's just indirectly helping. And then we get to the final fight where it just feels iconic. I feel like that's the thing people remember from the movie, the Mexican standoff. I don't know why this reminds me of spaghetti westerns. I've never seen a single spaghetti western. I've seen Rango. Rango's a good movie. The scene at the end though that really hooked me, where the pistol guy was dying, and he begs for his pistol back, but he's nothing without his pistol. That felt really sad to me. Like, that guy's a piece of shit, but I don't know why. Just like, I need my pistol. And then he tries so hard to kill Sanjuro, but he just couldn't. He just passes out. I do like the deaths for the movie. It was quite brutal. Really brutal for an old movie again. I did not expect it to be so much blood spraying all around. Oh wait, you know what? Let's talk about the fights. The fights are alright. You can tell it aged. You can tell that they're just using plastic swords at some point. Albeit they do hide, you know, with characters facing towards the camera. And you don't see the blood splashing. But there are some scenes though where someone sticks a sword through someone and the blood just gushes out of someone's head. I didn't expect that. Or like hands being chopped off, like body parts, limbs being cut away. I don't know. I watched like I thought it was gonna be like Charlie Chaplin. That was like one of the only older movie I watched. And you get to. I should just watch more of this guy's movies. I know he is so iconic, and he inspired Star Wars.
My favorite of all time is really Seven Samurai. And then maybe Yojimbo, and then Kuru, and maybe Hidden Fortress at that. So it's not at the very top of my list, but I was impressed and I liked it. And
I'm pretty sure he inspired the good, the bad, the ugly as well. Yeah, the fights are fun. I didn't come in expecting John Wick. You know, it's a really old movie. Anyways, the plot. Is the plot good? Yeah, the plot's really simple. Just a lone wolf going in, saving the town, ending the whole criminal organization or whatever. I really do think the wife plot came out of nowhere, but it served its purpose. It built Sanjuro as a character. We needed that. And you know, Sanjuro as a character, he's kind of okay. He's not that deep. He doesn't have that much depth to him. He just wants to fight. He's a good fighter. He's a good samurai. He loves his food. I do find it funny that Sanjuro is more of he's kind of a joyous character. He just starts laughing at a bunch of times, like randomly. He starts laughing a lot during the movie, and it gets me to laugh. It's kind of contagious. Maybe I'm also a giggly person, which doesn't help. But you'd think he'd be such a stoic character from the beginning. But he laughs a lot. Like, it's such a this is a weird comment, but you know, you don't expect him to laugh the way he does. So I thought that was really subversive. That they had just they let him have. Fuck. And I also like he sticks to his own honors. Like, he doesn't take the money and run off with it. Like, he does have a lot of honor. I mean, he is a samurai. He is a Japanese samurai. How well are the villains? Well, the villains are kind of forgettable. The only standouts here are the gun guy and the unibrow guy. Because they had such weird characteristics to them. Like, the guy with the gun, again, like I said earlier, was obsessed with his gun. And the unibrow guy was the biggest glazer in the world. He was the biggest fangirl of Sanjuro. I was laughing every time the unibrow guy just came on. I thought he was so silly. There was not a single moment where he didn't fangirl over Sanjuro, which I thought was just silly characters. This movie is more of oh fuck. This movie was more of a comedy than I thought it would be. I came in this movie. Nope. I came into this movie expecting some sort of revenge story, drama, but it was hilarious. The characters are just there. There isn't. I don't know how I'm gonna review all these old movies actually. They didn't have that much depth to the characters. I mean, the side characters at least. The main characters always have something to them, and a few other standout characters. The final fight. Was the final fight good? The final fight. Oh, it feels like it's iconic. It just feels like it was made for cinephiles. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, class, let's study the scene. Look at him walking slowly. That means that he's a really slow person. Look at that aura. I don't know. It just feels like it's studied. It's being studied for film school. That's what these type of movies are made for. Just film school students. I did really like it though. The ending, where everything came together. It really sucked me in. I was immersed at the end. Despite it aging a lot, you can't tell when you're really into the movie. And you feel more, the stakes are more at hand because they did beat the shit out of Sanjuro before. Which again, I'm surprised they let him even lose because I thought he was gonna be a stoic badass character with 0 losses. So the final fight was honestly the best part about this movie, besides that one scene. But like him just laughing at the time. The soundtrack. I don't really like old movie soundtracks. I don't know why. Something about them, they all just sound the same to me. Am I just stupid? I might be just stupid. But they all just sound like bam, 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 bam. The only one that stuck out to me for old movies is the Godzilla soundtrack, which is still being used to today, to this day. Yeah, I don't really care for the soundtracks of the old movies. Maybe I should just remove that part for the rest, like for other classic movies. Anyway, I rate this movie a solid 8 out of 10. My eyes were glued to the screen and did not go on my phone at least, so I'd take that as a sign. I don't usually go on my phone, but when a movie's really boring, you know, I get really bored easily. So I like taking myself into movies. And if a movie can't do that, then fuck that movie. Why should I give it attention? Yeah, I wanted to put this video together randomly, so excuse my rambling. But did you really think this was the end of the video? We have another movie. Clickbait. Sorry. Is that how that works? All right, whatever. Sanjuro, Part 2. So, Sanjuro. I am pretty sure this is the only sequel out of any of his movies. Misinformation. Actually, no, this actually might be the only sequel out of all of his movies. Like the last one, this one also had a really long opening sequence of just like a gray screen and all the names. I'm assuming that's because there's no end credits. I mean, yeah, there's barely any end credits back then. And also, Sanjuro's entrance was really smooth this time. Yeah, there's no epic walk, and then Sanjuro just walks right in. And then he starts talking immediately. You already know the character, so might as well have him talk the entire movie. He talks a lot in this movie, a lot more in the last movie. In the last movie, he was more nonchalant, cool, mysterious. Here, he's a compassionate person. Which makes sense. It is actual character development. We didn't really see what goes on between Yojimbo and Sanjuro, but you know, you assume some shit happens. I also love the quote, "Put your swords away. This is no time to play war." Also, it's been a few days. I completely forgot what the actual plot was of this movie. He was just trying to protect 9 samurai and get back their yeah. And then this one's more of a political thriller. He plays both sides. He's playing a game of chess. He plays around with the good guys. He plays around with the bad guys. He feels very different from the first movie. A lot more humbler, wiser. And the movie also feels more compact. I mean, it is shorter, like 30 minutes shorter. For some reason though, the middle part feels a lot longer than it was in the first movie. I was about to fall asleep. Not that it's bad, not that it's terrible. You need like you need to know the characters. You need to know everything that's going on. Get invested more, but it's still a little slow. You're like a sword without a sheath. You cut well, but the best sword is kept in its sheath. Very good line. I mean, there are a lot more deep lines in this movie than the last one. I feel like it's the director here was pointing and laughing at everyone who thought the first movie was so cool and badass. I mean, this one's badass and cool too, but he makes fun of, it's kind of like the reverse to the last movie where he didn't really care. He wanted to kill everyone. Here, he feels like shit for killing everyone. There's a scene in the movie where he gets really pissed off for killing a bunch of people because the other samurai are being really reckless. Oh yeah, use me as a footstool is a crazy line. And there's also another scene where he looks at the trees and calls himself Sanjuro Tsubaki. I don't think he has a name, I just realized. He's a Ronin without a name. I didn't realize that. I mean, the first movie he said he was Sanjuro, but I'm guessing that's because he did the same thing. I'm not really sure. I'm guessing he sticks with the name Sanjuro afterwards. Not really sure. Me when there's a leaf. There's also a montage in the movie where Sanjuro gets woken up a bunch of times, which was kind of funny. Bro just wants to sleep. I mean, there's nothing much more to this. He's a sleepy guy. This movie also feels weirdly more lighthearted than the last one. The last one has a cool atmosphere. It's more eerie. It's more dark. Whereas this one is just more comedic. They go into the lighter side of all things. I think it's cute. I think it's cute that this old samurai movie was just leaning towards the comedy aspect of it. Oh yeah, the guy who played the gun guy is now bald. He's the main villain in this movie as well. And the group dynamic is kind of fun this time around. They're all kind of super Sanjuro simps, but there's no more silly iconic characters like in the last movie, like the unibrow guy. There's no gun guy. He doesn't feel as iconic as the last movie. I don't really know how to explain it. It just feels less iconic. Whereas in the last movie, you could tell there was. I mean, it's probably because I know it's iconic. Whereas this movie, I didn't even know there was a sequel until after I watched the first movie. Oh yeah, and most of Sanjuro's screen time in this movie is eating. I'm pretty sure an hour out of an hour and 30 minutes of the screen time is him just eating food, which is perfectly fine. I just think it's funny. I just love that most of the screen time is him sleeping, talking, or eating. There's barely any nonchalant moments of Sanjuro in this movie. No fighting. He doesn't, again, he doesn't want to. It's the reverse of the last movie. I feel like it's making fun of the people who really love the fighting of Sanjuro and calling it. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe that's not it at all. Maybe the director just didn't care. He just thought it was cool. I had to look more into Akira Kurosawa. But as a movie, I'm pretty sure this was pointing fingers to the people who watched the first one. But I'm perfectly fine with both. I'm fine with the badass Yojimbo movie, and I'm perfectly fine with the more lighthearted Sanjuro movie. And like in the last movie, Sanjuro gets caught again. Except this one, he doesn't get beat around. He gets more. He conducts a whole plan to win without violence, which is cool. And the only reason why there was violence during the middle part of the movie was because, again, the samurai. His character is so different because in the last movie as well, he doesn't want to get involved in people. He just wants to kill. When the samurai, the 9 samurai say, you know, all 9 of us. He includes himself. He always says all 10 of us. It's nice. I love seeing that. I love seeing development. I love it. I love development. I love character development, which I did not expect from Sanjuro. So everything I said from the last movie completely flipped now.
Strike that. Reverse it.
He is a much better character than I thought he would be. And this movie, there's also a whole army. I didn't realize they had that many people who played characters. I don't know why. I just thought there weren't going to be that many people. They got a whole bunch of actors. But of course, I lied. It does end in bloodshed. And it wasn't even his fault. He kind of gets roped around into bloodshed. But the final duel is, again, my favorite part of the movie. This time it's definitely my favorite part of the movie. It just feels so sad. And I love how most of the fight is just them just staring at each other. And it's just one slice. It reminds me of that scene from Star Wars Rebels. Oh man, what a comparison. I'm pretty sure they took that from Akira Kurosawa as well, with Darth Maul and Obi-Wan Kenobi. But it's definitely a more shorter review because it's a shorter movie. And at the end of the movie, it also has a completely different ending, right? And this one, he doesn't want to stay. He leaves quietly. Once the 9 samurai approach him, he changes his mind and says, "See you around." And again, it ends lighthearted. It ends very lightheartedly. And as a movie, I would personally rate this higher than the first one. It was a more enjoyable watch. But I won't rate it higher because the middle part of this movie dragged it down to a 7. It's such a great movie though. And the climax of this movie was greater than the previous one, with everything ending without bloodshed until he was really forced to in an honorable duel. Ugh, it's chef's kiss. This was a beautiful movie. Still a 7 though. Actually, no, I changed my mind. I changed my mind entirely. This movie is an 8 as well. And I think the last movie is a 9. I've grown to really appreciate this movie, so yeah. But you should definitely go watch the movies. I just wanted to ramble about them here. It's rambling time. You know what the whole point of this video is, besides me really wanting an excuse to watch the movie? To show that this is not a review. Let me explain. Anyone can be a reviewer, but not everyone is a reviewer. I feel like it's almost like journalism. Anyone can cover the news, but not everyone is a certified journalist. Although I don't think they have the best rep anymore. You know, most of them are kind of out of touch. But what do I know? I mean, these videos are simply me just chatting absolute shit, and mainly entertainment. I mean, most YouTubers will rain on their opinions like their words mean the world to people, like the universe revolves around them. But here's the side of the point I'm making midway through my thought process. I think there's a reviewer for everyone. Whatever aligns with their opinions best is the whole point of having independent reviewers anyway. To find personality, to find someone with similar opinions than you, which is an aspect that I do love. I mean, your opinions are the only thing that should matter for you. Don't take anyone else's opinion. I mean, not everyone is a professional, but independent communities are what keep movie communities together. What does this have to do with the whole video that I've been talking about and the movies? Nothing. Nothing at all. I just wanted something to complain about at the end. But wait, am I confusing reviewers for critics?
So I'm making this video kind of like a time capsule. That at 24 years old, so far, nothing has gone according to plan.
Why do I watch these videos? I'm not even 24.